Why did you not interview the primary person of interest? At the heart of this investigation was Justin Trudeau's political interference for his own personal gain. Was there at least an attempt to interview Justin Trudeau? Yes or no?
No.
Hello, gang. My name's Aaron. This is Canadian Looney. Get your Canadian federal politics right here. Smash the like, hit subscribe. If you feel like you have something to share, leave a comment below. We're always curious to hear what people have to say. That's it. Let's get right into the video. This is a wild one. Check this out. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, Sergeant. Thank you for your attendance. I hope your attendance today is fulsome, that we get through the full committee without receiving a notice of motion to adjourn. At the heart of the SNC-Lavalin scandal, there were a number of players within the PMO, the PCO, and the Ministry of Finance. However, the principal person of interest in the SNC scandal was at all material times the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. To you, Commissioner, the scandal is now over 5 years old. When did the RCMP interview Justin Trudeau?
I'll let Mr. Pain-Saints further discuss about the interviews, but it is 5 years old, and the matter was brought to our attention in 2019 and officially concluded in January 2023, in which we notified Madame Wilson-Raybould as well as Mr. Scheer, who had written a letter to the Commissioner Lucky at the time.
Thank you, Commissioner. The question was very specific. How many times in the last 5 years did you interview Justin Trudeau?
He was not interviewed, sir, or Mr. President.
Okay, and why not?
I'll ask Mr. Pain-Saints, who was leading the investigation, to add a little bit.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So, in relation to this, what the RCMP conducted as far as for the objective for the review of the matter, what we've done is we've proceeded with a phased approach, which initially we looked at the potential witnesses that could provide some information as far as to precision for the elements of the offense. So we proceeded in this phased approach. As we proceeded, we determined if there was any further investigative steps that were warranted given the circumstances of the case.
My time is very limited. Why did you not interview the primary person of interest? At the heart of this investigation was Justin Trudeau's political interference for his own personal gain and the gain of SNC-Lavalin. I can inform both of you gentlemen that in my over 30 years of experience as a defense counsel and as a Crown attorney, I have never heard of any investigation where there wasn't any attempt, whether they agreed to interview or not, any attempt to interview the person of interest. Was there at least an attempt to interview Justin Trudeau, yes or no?
No.
Did the RCMP obtain all relevant documents to further the investigation, including access to cabinet confidential information, simply seeking a yes or no response?
We were limited with the information that we had access to.
Was that a yes or a no, sir?
I don't know. We didn't know. We don't know. We still don't know to this day all the information that's out there because some was protected.
I'll take that as a no. Despite collecting reams of evidence, including evidence from the Ethics Commissioner and testimony from Jody Wilson-Raybould at committee, why didn't the RCMP exercise its absolute statutory right under the Criminal Code of Canada to obtain a production order and/or search warrant from a justice to obtain those cabinet documents?
We weren't able to acquire or obtain enough information or evidence that would warrant us to obtain a production order.
RCMP spokesperson Christy Veenstra is on record stating that to obtain a search warrant or production order, there must be reasonable grounds to believe that a criminal offense has been committed. The evidence at hand is sufficient to convince a trier of fact. The evidence at hand is insufficient to convince a trier of fact of the alleged offense. Clearly, she is conflating the legal threshold of policing with the Crown Prosecution Service. Both of you, sirs, will agree that your sole responsibility is to determine whether there are reasonable and probable grounds to lay a charge. It is not your mandate to prove the charge beyond a reasonable doubt, which is the independent prosecution service. Would you agree with that?
I agree, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Was obstruction of justice involving Justin Trudeau the only offense you were contemplating in this regard?
No, there's also intimidation of a justice participant.
Thank you. You would agree that the charge of obstruction is a straight indictable offense, meaning there is no limitation period, punishable by 10 years in prison, a very serious offense. You'd agree, sirs, that there is nothing precluding your service from reopening the investigation against Justin Trudeau should new evidence become available, including a release of cabinet confidential information.
I would say, Mr. Chair, with any investigation, when there's new information that arises, yes, we have a look at the investigation itself.
To quell public concern, Justin Trudeau, despite his office, is subject to the full impact and consequences of the Criminal Code of Canada. He is not above the law, correct?
I do believe I said that last time I was in front of the committee. No one's above the law.
In my experience, sirs, homicides have been investigated and prosecuted in lesser time than your service has invested in investigating Justin Trudeau. Is there an overall general reluctance in charging a sitting prime minister, yes or no?
I would say to that, Mr. Chair, is that we follow the evidence, and if the evidence warrants charges, we charge.
So there's no general reluctance in charging a sitting prime minister. Is that correct?
If the appropriate evidence is available.
Thank you. You would agree that the purpose behind the offense of obstruction of justice is to maintain the integrity of the justice system and upholding the rule of law, that all the principles that were articulated in Jody Wilson-Raybould's testimony in warding off Justin Trudeau's relentless campaign of pressure and intimidation. You'll agree with me, Commissioner, the evidence is clear. This is not a one-off. Over the course of 4 months...
Sorry, Mr. Brock, but we're over time here.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Society, and he doesn't trust free people to make their own decisions. That's something that colors a lot of his writing, a lot of his speeches, that, you know, people like him should run things. You know, he's a very fancy person. You know, he's hobnobbed with the rich and famous. He likes being in fancy rooms where they wear tuxedos and know which fork to use for the salad and the fish.
Prominent people that were part of these HSBC Swiss accounts that had been inherited from Safra. Epstein was one of them. Some associates of Epstein, like Flavio Briatore, are there. But also, you know, HSBC was laundering money for drug cartels. And who didn't go after them when they were in charge of the Bank of England? Mark Carney.
Canadian federal politics are absurd. We're going to stick a fork in that video. It's over. My name's Aaron. This is Canadian Looney. Smash the like, hit subscribe. Please leave a comment below if you have something to share. Enjoy this playlist. Check out this video. We've got lots of things to watch. Aaron, Canadian Looney, we'll catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching this one. Ciao for now.